solver tool in Excel can help us find the values of unknown parameters that may sometimes appear in a model. But before we learn how to use the solver tool, it is perhaps important to know why we need this tool in the first place. So consider a case where we now have perhaps a set of data that we have collected. Say suppose T here is the independent variable that is in your model, and the values of the actual data collected are denoted by X bar. So for example, we have X bar I representing all the values that's collected, the values of the data that's collected. So X bar 1 would be this value 82, and X bar 9 will be this value 2, because they are altogether a total of 9 values. Now suppose your model is written in the form of x of t, is x as a function of t, and then x1 will represent the value of x based on the model corresponding to the value of t1. In this case t1 is 15, and so on. X2 will be the value of x based on the model, or calculated from the model at t equals to t2, which is 30, and so on. So in general, xi would be the value of all the model values. Now if we take the difference between x bar I and xi for each I, then we have a sense of a distance between the model values and the data values. This gives us also the error in the model. Now generally, when we are trying to find error, we do not want to deal with negative numbers, so we will take the square of this so-called distance away from the actual values. And if we have a set of such values, we want to find the total of these errors, so we would take the sum of all these values over all the i's. In this case, I going from 1 to, let's say, n. Now because we have squared it, if we want to find the actual error, we would like to take the square root, and then if we divide this quantity by n, what we have is some sense of the average error, which we call E. So in other words, we can define a form of an average error in our model by this formula E. Now the idea is that if your model contains an unknown parameters, and we can perhaps vary the value of the parameter, or we would like to find a value of parameter such that the model is a good fit. In other words, if E is very small, that means the error in your model is small, it means that it's a good fit. So we can of course use techniques in advanced calculus to do all these, but a convenient way is to make use of the tool called the solver tool within Excel to help us find these unknown parameters. In the next video, we will learn how to use Excel's solver tool to find unknown parameters that will minimize average error.